Hi everyone, I'm Mike Gordon. Welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Lemmings for the Sega Genesis. Well, we're halfway there. We have cleared out we are now on the Mayhem difficulty, and after this we still have the present and Sunsoft difficulties left. And we had cleared out fun, tricky, and taxing already. So now we're taking on what is basically this game's version of an expert difficulty setting, which is Mayhem. So without further ado, let's get things underway. Alright, so first task at hand. The lemmings down below are trapped, so we don't have to worry about them yet. Instead, we want to turn the first digger up top, lemming up top into a digger. And then a basher once the second lemming drops. Second lemming is going to build a bridge to the exit. And I'm actually going to give it a little bit of time to flood the trapdoors with lemmings. And now all the lemmings go free. Very easy. Well, very easy once you figure out the trick. You just have to time when to dig and when to bash. And you only get one shot at the bash heading left, or because if you whiff, you lose it and you lose the stage, but that's it. Alright, this one requires a bit of preparation. I actually need two blockers here. But first, I'm actually right there. And the reason for the two blockers is to isolate one lemming from all the others in case I'll need them later. So this builder lemming is going to be our trailblazer, and the second lemming that I've got trapped is going to be our backup struts in case we need them. Definitely one of the catchiest renditions of "She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain When She Comes." But looks like there's a blowtorch in the way, so I'm going to have to get real creative here with the bridge making. Especially since this stage doesn't even give us any basher or digger skills. So we're gonna have to find some other way to fix this. I reckon the intent here is to just build a stage as high up as possible so we could break off the top half. Release the second lemming. But I got a better idea. I'm gonna try to phase this lemming through this platform. And now I turn him into a blocker, I can blow him up. Huh. Now I'm gonna blow up the other blocker since it's not super important that I keep the rest of the lemmings separated, it's just in case I need to. So even though I think everyone can reach the exit just fine, I'm gonna do this just in case. It's not gonna waste any time, since I have to wait for all the other lemmings to go through. There is a 100% solution, but I'm not gonna... It's way too much work. Speaking of 100%, we have to save every lemming here. And I got a bit of a crazy strat here. I turn my basher, once I successfully turned all the lemmings around, I turn them in with the basher skill. I have him build a bridge to turn his ass around. So what happened was I dug, I bashed. Once all the lemmings, the whole crowd of lemmings turned around, I built a bridge to turn him around, to turn my basher around. And the one lemming that got away, I turned into an athlete and then made him a miner. And the rest is history. This one, however, is going to be very difficult. Both of these stages have very strict 1 minute time limits, so... And unfortunately, all we really can do is bash, and you want to keep them in the medium. You want to take as few actions as possible. There. It's very difficult to hit the first lemming every single time because if just one lemming turns around, that's it. The stage is over. You just don't have time to wait for the lemming to turn their asses around. And bashing isn't exactly gonna do much of anything to speed the process up. See, only 5 seconds to spare. This time we have a bit more leeway here. I turn the first lemming into an athlete and then a blocker. Same goes for the second lemming, but only after he turned around. I'm actually going to work to get these other lemmings into the lower quadrant. And you want to have the second lemming build all the way up until he shrugs but can still reach that platform, and that's very difficult to gauge. And then turn him into a blocker. Alright, I'm not super picky on when I plan on which lemming specifically I turn into a builder, but we want to turn him into a builder a ways before the blocker. This is literally the only way to get the other lemmings to the top of the next platform. However, because this is going to be quite time intensive, and the risk is very high of screwing up, we want to leave at least 3 lemmings behind. And make the third of those lemmings, the most recent of those lemmings, into a blocker, the second one to a builder, and the last lemming standing is going to be a blocker. This is important because the crowd's coming back. I admittedly could probably clear this stage a little faster, but I digress. And once again, I want to wait for most of the crowd of lemmings to leap off the platforms, and leaving just a couple stragglers remaining. I think I only have 1 straggler this time. Yes, I do. And this should probably be enough to get all the other lemmings into the exit. Good. Now, once we turn him into a bomber, and we'll turn these other blockers into bombers as the lemmings pass them. As they should all be able to reach the exit just fine. we went the nuclear option. Over the wall. We only need, and this one's pretty easy. We only really need a blocker, don't need to worry about blockers until about halfway through the stage. As this is a pretty safe stage all around. Not yet. Alright, that let me that turn around, we need to turn him into a blocker. And because it's safe passage for all the lemmings, I can just unleash them. Alright, that was weird. And I can nuke this guy, since I know that there will be no more lemmings coming back. And that's it for the stage. Pulls apart. Alright, so there is basically a trick with the digger, with a digger lemming. The second one's going to be the trailblazer because he exited the hole. We turn the digger into a builder to stop him from digging. And this should catch all the lemmings for the stage. Alright, first we do Basher. Oh yeah, we made him into a climber, but after this we need to make him into a digger. And right as he clears the last red, I'm just gonna call it the red stripe on the pole. I'm going to turn him into a builder. Followed by a basher. But it's gotta be right as he nears, right as he's about to touch the pole that he becomes a basher, or else he'll fall through. I mean, it's a lot easier turning them into builders when the next pull is so close by. And by the way, this is a rehash of a fun stage. Or was it tricky? I don't remember. I had to bash the next pull because we are going to build on this last one. However, we want to make sure he's a little to the right before making him a digger. And we only have one, and we can only give him one climber skill to reach the exit, so. Alright, let's get to work. Okay, good. Normally I would try to get this a little closer to, but that's kind of tricky business. This is basically the easy route to ensure victory. Which is funny because I think you are allowed 5 casualties, but so we wound up saving them all. Last one out was a rotten egg. Alright. First lemming is a blocker as soon as he exits. Then I turn the third lemming into a blocker. That should trap all the lemmings between the two blockers, basically making them into one lemming. Once again, the trailblazer. And the reason why I like to keep off screen, I want to try, this time I want to make him a digger just above the platform to the exit. This will make this process a little shorter, but also ensures I can save every lemming in the stage outside the 2 blockers. I want to turn his ass around, so once he's sufficiently in the hole, I make him into a blocker, into a builder, so I can turn him around. And I resume digging duties until I'm sufficiently where I need to be. And this is also going to make the get timing when to make him into a miner all that more difficult. I had a hard time saying that at all. So we'll find out soon enough whether or not he's successfully dug a hole, mined a hole that the other lemmings can reach. Once he bumps into this blocker, I'm gonna blow him up. And I'll blow the next blocker shortly after. And this is going to give me my Trailblazer enough time to dig a hole deep enough for the other lemmings to trap the other lemmings. And the reason why I decided to dig this far out is so he drops straight to the ground and heads for the exit, alongside the rest of my horde. Because it is still possible for him to dig through the steel platforms. And that could be big trouble. Though it doesn't really matter if he died, but I digress. Alright, this time we only have 2 lemmings to save, but we have to save both of them. I want the second lemming to be right up the first lemming's back. That way, when the second lemming finishes building, he could just climb up there and become the new Trailblazer while the first lemming is busy building. Alright, first lemming's gonna be the Basher. And we'll be the Basher again, and this time I'm going to use the Builder lemming to turn the second lemming around. That's the stage. Dangerous balcony. Alright, this one's another one where we need a Trailblazer, but first, we actually want to build a bridge right here. This is going to come in handy later when the lemmings start turning left, as we don't actually want any of the lemmings to drop down on the right hand side, so that lemming will be to our... So that bridge is going to be to our advantage. Also, we turn a lemming heading towards the left into our builder, and that build into a climber and a digger, and that lemming will be our Trailblazer. And by the way, this is the intended method. This is the method that the developers want you to take. In clearing out this stage. Alright, first turn this lemming around. At the top of that step, we're going to start building towards the right. We're not. It's gonna take quite a while before we can drop these lemmings down safely. But the reason why I can't just... why I'm doing the builder right now instead of waiting a while is because I still have to save every lemming. So like it or not, this is as fast as you can go. So long as he bumps into that floating platform, he will turn his ass around, and that will be when the time comes to make a digger out of one of these lemmings, facing the right. Every lemming that needs to dig will be facing the right here, so save every lemming in the stage shouldn't be a problem anymore. And none of the lemmings facing the left are going to be dropping down that hole. See? They have to head to the left first before they have to turn left first before dropping down to the hole. And that's literally how you clear this stage. Alright, we all fall down. Hopefully this is the last time we see this stage. The Lemmings wiki states that this is the last rendition of the stage. And I use the same trick as I used the last time that we did this stage and the time before that. So even though there are 80 lemmings to rescue, it's not a problem. There's some lag here, so I'm gonna move all the way back here to reduce the lag. Basically, I make the second digger nudge the first digger a little to the right, so all the other lemmings can drop down safely. And here's the other side. Alright. Turn the first lemming into a climber. Now I'm actually going to build a bridge here, but it's only going to be partially done. That way I will be able to finish the bridge without problems later on. So now it's time for me to release all the lemmings. This will cause some lag, but it's not something that I can't work with. Shouldn't be a problem. First turn into a digger, followed up by a miner. That way I can ensure that he and all the other lemmings turn their asses around. Turn our trailblazer here into a builder now. We want you to keep the lemming crowd as off screen as possible. Alright, next we want to try to get him to dig on that slope, bash through this slope right here. After all, we need to get him to go between those two steel blocks in the earth down below, or else this is a lost stage. So far, so good. Fortunately, this is about as far as we can go as far as heading. Turning the screen right, so we have to now deal with the lag. And there's lag because there are so many lemmings on screen that are just clustered together. And there really is nothing you can do about it. Alright, once he starts building, I'm going to free the other lemmings back here. This is going to take a little bit of time, so there's for them to catch up, so it's not a problem. I mean, once we reach that steel block, we're basically home free. I want to go a little bit to the right before building the next bridge because I want to at least ensure that this bridge to the exit gets finished. And I think we should be fine. If I still need to work on the bridge a little bit, I will be sure to highlight the climber lemming. Remember, climber, it looks like we're fine, so no need to add another builder. We can off-screen the rest of this. So that's it for this stage. The Great Lemming Caper. A rehash of a fun difficulty stage. However, the solution is a little different. I turned the first lemming into a builder, and the second one into an athlete, digger, and then basher. Alright, our first lemming will drop down, and we'll build this bridge. And we actually have to time this. If the builder finishes his bridge before this lemming climbs, then the stage is lost. But if he reaches the top before he finishes building the bridge, we've lost. So in a way, this is about as fast as we can clear this stage. So it's really about precise timing at this stage. Yeah, another rehash, I believe from the taxing difficulty stage. This time, we have no choice but to deal with casualties, so... First lemming here will be a builder. There's nothing we can do about it. Lead lemming will turn into basher. And now we're gonna release all the lemmings in the stage. Turn the first lemming here into a builder, right here. And again, there's nothing we can do about it. Probably could have done it a little faster, but I didn't want to risk it with the crowd. I'm gonna off-screen the exits because the crowd is coming through. Save just more than enough to clear the stage. And priority is to clear out these two pawns here. Oh yeah, we also have to mine those two spike traps. The one is on the mound next to the one on the right, which is why we have a basher lemming here. And then there's one on the right-hand side towards the exit. Because of this, we can't use the right. We can't exit to the right. We cannot use the exit from the right-hand side. We have to use it from the left. Oh yeah, the two builder lemmings, one is to slow down the pace of the lemmings, the other is to connect the two bridges. Now it's time to release the lemmings. Because there are 3 trapdoors, they're basically divided up into thirds. I turn one lemming around with the builder skill, and then make him our trailblazer for the exit. As an aside, I want to get a head start on the builder lemming to help this crowd exit out. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot of lag here. Alright, I want to finish this bridge. And now we basically only have one last chance at this, so... Looks like I made the right call building from the far left. That's probably the safest place to build because chances are you're going to grab a lemming that's already turned around. And now we just have to wait for all the other lemmings to exit. Just a minute. Gee, I wonder if this means that we only have a minute to clear this. The answer is yes, in fact. Now, we want to wait till the second lemming just passes the bastard before turning him into a digger. And once he creates a hole sufficient enough to trap him, we move on. I'm going to unleash the lemmings, all the other lemmings now, and I'm going to try to quickly do the same thing here. Just create a little compartment so all the other lemmings can escape safely. And the reason for the compartments is because we only have a minute to do this. So, if any of the lemmings gets trapped, we want to get them trapped in the as far back as possible. And solve that one in the nick of time. But next is stepping stones. I'm going to turn this lemming into a blocker. I accidentally put the wrong input in there. That's okay, we don't need 5 bashers. But now we can just free up all the other lemmings. There will come an issue that we will have to deal with, and that's the fact that we have no means of blowing up that lemming without nuking all the others. So we're gonna have to free up our blocker somehow. Luckily, we still have our access to our bashers in digger skills, and even miner skills if we need them. So there's that. Alright, we want to have him bash through that platform so he can land on that stepping stone safely. I want to actually wait till I need to use another builder on him again. Now, I'm going to create a digger on a lemming near this guy and then turn him into a basher. This should be a win-win situation for me, regardless of what direction they're facing, because none of them are climbers. This is gonna be close. Okay, good. All the lemmings made it through. Two different worlds. Now we are very much strapped for resources, so we need to turn one lemming, the digger lemming, around with the builder skill. But only after the hole is sufficient enough. And we want to make sure that the basher is facing the left. As an aside, we also want to bash a hole through the bridge so we could have our trailblazer. This is going to be the tricky part, because the trick now is building enough bridges that I can actually bash into that little platform, into the dirt beneath the exit safely. Alright, I need another bridge. And now I can bash. And I need to have him start building just before the spikes. It's actually a bear trap. Now I can free the rest of the crowd. Alright, that should be good enough for all the other lemmings to reach the exit. And unfortunately, we can't completely off-screen these lemmings exiting. But I digress. We saved them all. Alright, first two lemmings are climbers. And we want to time the explosives around that archway. We want the first lemming towards the top and the second lemming towards the bottom. That will create a hole in the wall that will allow the other lemmings to reach the exit safely. First three lemmings are builders, so we could save all the others. I'm gonna build two separate builders here, fairly spaced apart from one another. For two reasons. Number one, to break the fall of any and all lemmings. But number two, because trying to gauge where specifically to build to reach that hole is pretty tricky. I'm gonna create another builder lemming just in case. Or it looks like he was fine. So it looks like the first builder lemming is the one that I have to focus on. Good to know. And I have to time the next explosive too. Okay, now we have free rings for all the other lemmings to reach the exit. Now we just have to wait for every lemming in this stage to exit the stage. I wish there was a way to do this one as quickly as humanly possible, but in a way that can be considered safe, but there really isn't. This was simply one stage that we had to do the good old honest way, since the requirements for completing it were so stringent. No add colors and lemmings. Alright, this is a rehash of a fun stage, except with some tricky conditions. Turn the second lemming into a blocker, and because we need to save all the lemmings this time, we will need to make sure this trailblazer here can build a bridge that will force him to turn around, but is otherwise just a step away from the exit. We need to turn into a miner just before he reaches the blocker, and I need to turn one lemming into a climber, which I did. And the one I turn into a climber is going to mine a hole through this bridge here so the other lemming can climb out safely. And that's it for this stage. We just need to wait for these two lemmings to reach the exit and we're done. With a twisted lemming, please. Alright, this is kind of a cheap one. We did turn our first lemming into an athlete, and then we want to try to trap all these other lemmings inside. Right now, I'm spacing them out so I could give myself time to turn this one to my trailblazer to digger. But otherwise, once he starts digging that hole, I'm actually going to find a happy medium. For me, that was 86. And start turning and just start mashing the floater icon. That way, by the time my trailblazer finishes digging his hole, I will have trapped all the lemmings inside that little containment. This does come with the caveat that freeing all the lemmings will be much trickier, but you know what? It'll be worth it. Come on. Good. Now all the other lemmings are basically home free. Yeah, same stage, but different solutions. A Beast 2 of a level. Yeah, another tribute to Shadow of the Beast, though this time this stage is very different. Turn the second lemming into a blocker, of course, while my trailblazer starts digging and bashing his way. Starts building and bashing his way towards the exit. Eventually mining too. And then I bashed so I could end the building section early. And I actually need a deceptive amount of space for this trailblazer before I free the others. So, we came into a basher at this tree, and now we can nuke this one. I could try freeing them, but really, I don't need to free them all up. These special stages added into the Genesis version that have really long load times that I edited out. These stages actually are universally very generous with the supplies and the time. But I digress. And now we need and now I'm going to try to take on the 100% solution for the stage. There's an exit to the upper left, and we want to turn the first lemming there into a basher. Second lemming down below will be a builder, and so will the second. Here, while the first lemming from this exit will build to the left, second lemming will build to the right. Also, once the digger is sufficiently low, he will turn into a basher. And that's basically it for the lemmings on the left. Make use of the pause feature if you absolutely make use of the pause button for the stage. Anyways, I turned a lemming facing the left into a climber, so he could bash a hole into this wall. And because of that, I was able to max out the lemmings. This lemming here is going to turn into a miner, and the weight downward is very narrow. Do it too soon and he'll mine a hole that he'll fall through. Do it too late and all the lemmings down there will remain trapped. This is the best we can do, but to off-screen the lemmings, but we got all of them. This time it's all or nothing. This one's very simple. If you bash the wrong way, you lose. That's it. So really, you just have to pass 3 50-50 checks in order to clear this stage. So that's it. Have a nice day. A rehash of a notorious level on the tricky difficulty. But the strategy's pretty much the same. The difference is we don't have any bombers. So we are going to have to go the nuclear option. Make him into a late floater, we'll turn him into an athlete. We want him to at least finish this part of the bridge first. Second part, and now we can make our next athlete. We'll turn his ass around. We turn them both into builders. That way we turn the second athlete around. And I'm going to let the other athlete be so I can focus on building the last bridge to the exit. Time for me to free the other lemmings. Admittedly, this is early. So, it would not surprise me at all if there's some not only immense lag, but immense discrepancies, I suppose. But regardless, all the lemmings are now heading for the exit, and that's fine by me. I'm pressing the nuclear option so I can end this stage. Lemming eater. Alright. We want to create a digger towards the left. A bit on the left of the trapdoor. And the reason why is because we want the lemmings to head left first. As I turn that Lemming into a builder, I turn the first Lemming on the second Lemming into a miner, so I could trap all the other Lemmings down below. Our Trailblazer here then can work much of this stage in peace, trying to avert all the traps, like that rope that will literally tear the Lemmings apart. Very gruesome. And there's spikes down there, so we need to build a bridge above those spikes. Alright, we're trying to free the Lemmings because... yeah, just cause. And we can build one last bridge towards the exit now. By the time my builder here finishes his bridge, all the Lemmings will reach the end of the stage. So this is about as fast as you can clear this stage. Just a minute, part 2. This time the brick is even longer. I tried pause scumming, but I mistimed it, so I'm doing this the long way. Hopefully this doesn't bite me in the butt, because every second here is going to be precious. I'm gonna try to free up all the other Lemmings, and hopefully they all reach the exit in time. 10 seconds, it's gonna be very close. I got really nervous at that part, but as the clock hit 0, faded black, but then I saw the 100 and I by the skin of my teeth. Anyways, here's a quick solution to ending this stage. Build, dig, and then build to turn this Lemming around. The other Lemming's gonna die. Dig a sufficient hole in there, and then end the dig cycle with the building Lemming, and then have our Trailblazer build a bridge directly above the exit. All the other Lemmings are gonna be trapped down there, and we're gonna try to build a bridge out from the left-hand side. Look how I cheesed that. Even though that was way too high for them to survive, because it was above the door, exiting through the door circumvents everything. Firstly, we have to turn this Lemming into an athlete, and we have to watch as these Lemmings die one after the other. There's nothing we can do about it. Even if we were to build a bridge facing the left, they would still be dying. So this method is far faster and more efficient than that. There will be some casualties. Hopefully, since there are like 50 Lemmings, no, more like 100 Lemmings, there will be no more than 12 to 14 casualties. Alright. They'll take a while for our Trailblazer to catch up to where we need to be, so we need to trap these Lemmings down in this section. We do this by bashing through those nets, so the Lemmings coming in can't fall to their deaths anymore. It's also the reason why I haven't unleashed them yet. I only unleash them when I'm safe to do so. Alright, we only have one more builder lemming, so we gotta make it count. Alright. We want to have the lemming going left around the halfway mark up down there. Build a bridge halfway to it, towards that ledge. Of course, no matter what, we will have to wait until the other lemming turns around. But that's fine. By the way, don't forget to bash through that net with the first lemming in line. So that's free. Alright, Lemmings Arc. This is the last stage of the Mayhem difficulty setting, and there's no walkthrough for this on the wiki. So I look up. So I was stumped. So I looked up another video on YouTube to figure out what the solution was. You first lemming that drops through the trapdoor becomes a climber. As soon as he reaches the top, we have him dig until he's just above the second set of arrows. Down below. Right here is good. Then we turn him into a basher. Now, we want to prepare. Now, we need a time when to make our next builder, because it's right as he passes the third to last set of blocks. Right there. And the reason for this is because our first lemming is going to be our trailblazer. Do it too late and do it too soon and he'll catch up to the other lemming and completely screw everything up for you. Do it too soon. Well, if you do it too soon. Do it too late and he won't be able to climb up that ledge past that bridge. Now we need to make our trailblazer to a miner. Second trailblazer, however, will build above the hole our miner's digging. I see. I bet you know where you. Yeah, you know where this is going. But we still need one more climber. So right after I start building the bridge to the exit. Oh yeah, I also had to use the mining command twice. And I need to patch up that little slit. So all the other lemmings trapped down below actually climb up the enclave. Unfortunately, this is a 100% solution, so we have to wait for this athlete to reach the exit. That's just the way it is. Because climbers and floater skills stick to your lemmings no matter what. So there's really nothing I can do about but wait for this guy. But don't worry. Once he reaches the exit, that is it for the Mayhem difficulties. So this is where we cut off for today. If you like what you see here, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. I greatly appreciate it. And next time we are taking on the present difficulty setting. This is Mike Gorin, sign out.